welcome everyone to another episode of Waadaplaya. This is Suman and I have Sanjay today. Uh, okay, so if you are active on social media or have watched 2019 Cricket World Cup in England, then you may have seen the meme of a man dressed in flannel shirt with arms akimbo and disappointed look on his face. The genuine reaction was to a Pakistan cricketer, Asif Ali, dropping a catch during a match during Australia game. Turned out to be a meme sensation. He's an auditor by profession, lives in London with his wife and kids. The world famous meme sensation, Sarim Akhtar. Welcome to the show, Sarim.
Wow, thank you. Fabulous introduction, man. I've never heard such an introduction. Thanks, Suman. Thanks, Sanjay, for having me.
It's awesome. Great. So, first things first, have you been a cricket fan since you were a child, or when did the love for the game begin?
Yes, man. I've been watching it probably while growing up. Before I was just reached five, from black and white television, used to watch it. As I grew older, I started carrying my radio in my pocket to school and sneak it and hear the commentary for, I think, most of the matches, West Indies matches, because the timing didn't work for us. It usually was during the day or early in the morning, Australian games, these and that. Then, as I grew older and I was allowed to go to the stadium, then I started going there as well. My famous or my uh, critical one, which I enjoy, was one of the Indian test match that I attended in Karachi. Prabhakar, I think, blew us off in the first hour of the day. He took probably four or five wickets within, I think, yeah, one hour in the morning, and we were five or six down, probably for 100, 120. So the crowd started throwing stones and disrupted the match. But the thing that I remembered the match was because the police started tear gassing the spectators, and we had to run out. So I remember my fond memory is running out on the streets trying to evade the tear gas. But yeah, fun matches. I remember the Sharjah match where Javed Mirdal hit the famous six in Sharjah. It's been a pleasant journey, man. Wow, fabulous. You have reminded me of so many things.
Love it. And 2019 World Cup, right? Sanjay and I also tried for tickets. I think there was a ballet, we had to apply for it, and unsuccessful. So, how did you manage to get tickets?
I didn't. I never intended to. I recently moved to London. Started a new job, moved to a new place. Just had bought a car, so wasn't clear with driving here in London. Still was carrying the international license, which I had carried from Kuwait, where I previously worked. So I wasn't going there and wasn't planning to. It was just one of my friends who was also a cricket buff was traveling over from Dubai, and on his insistence that I tried to look for a ticket and fortunately found it. And that's how. And then we made a call to drive all the way to Taunton. At that time, it was probably 3.5 hours away from London. So there were probably so many things. If I recall that you can say the stars were aligned for that moment, because I wouldn't have definitely got caught if I had been in any other location, because it was so close to the boundary line, near the third man, where the ball usually comes and where the catch was dropped. And to make it to that match as well. Yeah, I can't say anything. I can't think about anything else than that all the stars were aligned for that particular moment to happen.
That was fantastic story leading up to the moment. So, walk us through the sequence of events. So, catch drop, and then is that a typical Pakistan fan reaction? Does that sum it up? And then, when did you get to know what is happening around you and social media and on television?
Yeah, it was just a kind of a probably typical fan movement when you are close to the boundary line, and particularly as I mentioned near the third man area. the ball frequently goes there, and particularly when Pakistanis are bowling and Australians are playing, they play towards the third man quite a lot. So it's just a normal reaction trying to catch the ball because it was up in the air. And I was kind of disappointed for a second because it didn't come to me. I was so aligned to catch the ball. I used to be a very good fielder as well. But yeah, Asif Ali tried to catch it and dropped a sitter. And usually, probably in our part of the world, we would have given a mouthful. But my general reaction is to express my anger and disappointment just showed on my face at that moment in time. And it was probably for a couple of seconds. By the time in 5 minutes, or in a few seconds when I sat down, after 5 minutes, I started receiving a couple of calls from some of my friends who had watched me on the live telecast. So I said, yeah, I told them, yeah, try to record that moment. I'll try to take it from you afterwards. But then people started sharing memes with me, and I started hearing whispers of people surrounding me, and they said, "Oh yeah, this is the guy. Arey, wahi hai, ye takhla hai." And then it made me realize that yeah, something is going on. Then after probably 40-45 minutes, Zainab Abbas came with a camera crew, and she probably said the words that Sarim Akhtar, do you know that you have gone viral? Can I take an interview? That's when it hit me. And that from that moment in time, people around me didn't let me go. Till the end of the game, I was still crowded because they knew for some reason the camera will try to capture my expressions. And then a lot of selfies outside the stadium as well when I left. Then after probably a week when we played India, as I was going towards the stadium and making my way through the stands, I was stopped so many times. And the thing that at that moment in time, which surprised me, was so many Indians came to me and recognized me and they took selfies with me. So just a momentous, man, momentous. But of all the things, keep everything aside, keep Wasim Akram aside, the Indian match, the euphoria and everything. The meme is still happening at this moment in time after 2 years. That's the most surprising aspect of the whole thing. The whole charade, I would say.
It is outside.
Why would people still share it?
They do, and I think you must have noticed even WhatsApp. There are reactions. Even kids, there are reactions. It's an outstanding story, one for the lifetime.
सरीम भाई एकदम मतलब आपकी कहानी सुन के ओवरनाइट आपको इतना फेम मिल गया, इतना इंटरनेट सेंसेशन बन गए, आपको वसीम अकरम से मिलने का मौका मिला। फिर मैंने आप देखा कि पीसीबी ने आपको अप्रोच किया एक इंग्लैंड पाकिस्तान सीरीज के लिए एक फैन वीडियो बनाने के लिए। वसीम अकरम से मिलना, पीसीबी से इंटरेक्शन, वीडियो बनाना उनके लिए, इन सब के बारे में बताइए, कितना स्पेशल था ये आपके लिए?
Yeah, it was fabulous. Just imagine your childhood hero whom you watched growing up and being asked to do an interview with him. So when it was given an idea to me, look, this is an opportunity. आप करेंगे इंटरव्यू? मैंने कहा why wouldn't I? क्यों नहीं करूँगा? जरूर करूँगा. And then as you can say a carrot dangling in front of me, they offered me कि जी आपको हम इंडिया पाकिस्तान का टिकट का मैच का टिकट भी देंगे. मैंने कहा यार, that's सोने पे सुहागा, obviously who would turn that around? So I made all the way to Manchester, drove over there, and did that interview. And funnily, I had to go and visit him, Wasim Akram, at his house in Manchester. So again, bigger than, larger than life, big, humongous kind of a guy, but so humble and so grounded. It was fun, and obviously a momentous moment in my life.
इससे आगे चलते हुए हम इंडिया पाकिस्तान की राइवलरी के बारे में बात करते हैं और थोड़ा ये जो मीम्स तो मतलब हम लोग देखते हैं, इंडिया पाकिस्तान का मैच होता है, कभी इंडिया हारती है, कभी पाकिस्तान हारता है, तो जब पाकिस्तान हारता है तो हम ये रैंडम देखते हैं विजुअल्स की कोई कराची में, कहीं लाहौर में लोग टीवियां तोड़ रहे हैं, ऐसा होता है या ये सब सिर्फ एक ही रिपीट करते रहते हैं लोग ईयर आफ्टर ईयर?
नहीं यार, ये इतना नहीं होता ऑब्वियसली, लेकिन डेफिनेटली टेम्परेचर डज गो वेरी हाई, particularly when it is a kind of a World Cup game, where mostly with Pakistan the stakes are very high in every game because you never know which Pakistani team will come up. So, and particularly losing against India, तो वो बहुत बड़ा loss समझा जाता है. And obviously, India is currently one of the top 2-3 teams. So I wouldn't rate Pakistan playing against them. अगर सरप्राइज हो जैसे 2017 जब इस ट्रॉफी का फाइनल, that was a surprise. We were probably India was a better team at that time as well, but that was a surprise. So probably we will lose 9 out of 10 matches to India, but the rivalry goes way back. Obviously, I remember all the test matches whenever Pakistan visited India. India came all the way to Pakistan. I remember one of my favorite players, Dravid, who was captaining India when they came to Pakistan. Such a wonderful speaker and confident guy. I never knew until that moment in time because I never heard him speak. And then seeing Dhoni, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, 3 of my current favorite players in India, seeing them in Manchester was job. And then Ranveer Singh came up. He was also there watching the match, and he started waving and playing around with the crowd. So fabulous, momentous day, man. Nothing else.
Great. I remember that match back in Pakistan when Dravid was the captain, and Lakshmipati Balaji was also very famous. उस दौरान I remember Pakistan में for some reason L Balaji was like a sensation. जहाँ भी जा रहे हैं लोग, बालाजी जरा धीरे चलो, ये सब गाना चल रहा है, मतलब बहुत famous हुआ.
No, his name was very unique as well, and it was good for the tongue. You can say so. Everyone, Balaji. I could hear it from the stadium as well. People were chanting his name, and so it's always fun, man. It's always fun when India plays Pakistan. Stakes are high. Even you can say, weak teams have kind of bring up some kind of spirit which forces them to play out of their skins. I remember Inzamam was captain when they visited India. It wasn't such a big team. There wasn't hardly any big names in the team except for probably Inzamam. Even Shoaib was not there. But we managed to somehow win some of the one days and did very well during the test. It was just that because they were playing India, so they had to play out of their skins. So there you are right. Rivalry goes way back.
No, I know. I mean, as you mentioned, the rivalry may go. लेकिन जब आप इंडियन फैन से इंटरेक्ट करते होंगे तो ये राइवलरी उतना नहीं है. लोग क्रिकेट को ज्यादा प्यार करते हैं, उतना आपस में ये नहीं कि लोग लड़ रहे हैं, झगड़ रहे हैं. सब आते हैं क्रिकेट देखने और एकदम बहुत आराम से लोग रहते हैं.
Never. It was such a fun watching that Manchester game. That was my first instance when I watched it with the Indian in a sea of blue. There were few pockets of green somewhere. I was the lone ranger in the sea of blue in the place where I was sitting. So, लेकिन वो बहुत fun था because India would bat it first. So वो every 4, every 6 they hit. There was a euphoria, and obviously Rohit played very well. At the back of my mind, मुझे sure था कि Rohit 200 करेगा हमारे against because the way that he was playing, यार इतना calm player मैंने नहीं देखा. Even today when he played and made a century on a turning track, there is such a calmness and quietness to his method कि मुझे लग रहा था कि वो मैनचेस्टर में 2 years back that he would hit a double century, but fortunately वो probably 140s में he got out. Fortunately for us, otherwise वो 350 पे स्कोर जाता 400.
ग्रेट. अच्छा, अब आपने मतलब 1.5 साल में तो इतने सारे मीम्स देखे होंगे, मतलब आप परेशान हो गए होंगे शायद, लेकिन ये सिलसिला शायद और भी चलेगा. आपके कुछ 2-4 फेवरेट मीम्स बताइए जो आपने देखा और मतलब ये बड़ा सही मतलब बनाया जिसने बनाया।
Yeah, you're right. There were a few favorites of mine. एक हम लोग ऑस्ट्रेलिया से खेल रहे थे. I think we were doing pretty well. We were 75, 72, 75 for without loss in a test match. So किसी ने बनाया, and that's the till to date I've seen the only one which has captured me from the back. पीछे का पूरा दिखाया. So बड़ा creative था. उसमें दिखाया कि I'm shouting. Probably they have taken an image from my Zainab Abbas interview where I'm doing this. I'm very enthusiastic. So 75 for 0 and my image, and then I go to the loop. That's where they show me from the back. And within 5 minutes, Pakistan lost 4 wickets, I think. And that's when they show me my disappointed face. So that was on top of. Then probably you must have seen it as well. A child was born, and probably a few minutes old child, and he had a frown, a very very bad. people people kind of mimicked that look. This is his childhood. He grew up to be like this. So that was very unique as well. And then the most you can say funny thing which happened is the friend that I've talked about who encouraged me to go to the stadium with him. He had also invited a friend, so we were 3 who were sitting together, and we were taking selfies when we met each other. So in one of the selfies that I took, all 3 of us are there, and I didn't know my friend's friend obviously. So when my friend's friend put it on his Facebook, he cut me out. But that was all before the meme. So it was fun receiving this as a meme afterwards. That look, 3 of us got a selfie, and this guy posted it by cutting me out, and then me showing it as my meme image. So these 3 are my top, right? Very fun. Makes me laugh when I remember.
ये सब होने के बाद सरीम भाई, तो आपके फैमिली, बच्चे, ये लोग भी मतलब आपको अब अलग तरीके से देखते हैं कि देखिए कि ये इंटरनेट पे ये आया है, अब मतलब कितना डिफरेंस आया आपकी लाइफ में इन जनरल, यू नो, एज अ पर्सनल फैमिली, बच्चे ये सब कैसे देखते हैं आपको अब?
Oh, my wife, my kids, they hate it. They hate that I'm getting that attraction. I remember after that World Cup, it was summertime in London always. So I went to one of the, I think it was the Legoland or somewhere. So I went, as soon as I entered, one Indian family was there. He approached me, he wanted a selfie, so I obliged. And I could see my kids and my wife just staring at me, because that was the first instant that someone was taking a selfie in front of them. Then my elder son came to me, "Papa, stop this. Why are people taking selfies?" I said, "But this has been happening since that day." There have been so many selfies. People want to take it when people recognize you, so they want to remember it. But he says that, "Papa, don't appear in ads. I hate it." My younger one, his classmates or his parents probably recognize me in their school, so they tell me, "Oh, Papa, he recognized you and that you are the famous meme guy." I said, yeah. So why are you embarrassed? No, I'm so embarrassed. People are telling me this. And so immediate family, no, but my siblings, my parents, they love it. My family loved it. I traveled to Pakistan for my youngest brother's wedding after the event. Right from my flight, I was bumped up. The guy who was standing out there, boarding passes. He recognized me. He bumped me to first class for both the legs over the Dubai. So that was immediate reaction. Then as soon as I landed in Karachi, people took out their mobile. "Arey, wo meme uncle ja raha hai. Arey, wo dekho takla ja raha hai." And then at the day of the wedding, my brother came to me. He said, "Bhaiya, ये तो क्या हो रहा है? तो कोई मेरी पिक्चर लेने के बजाय सब आपके साथ ले रहे हैं पिक्चर."
Fantastic.
Amazing fun. Listen, this has been an absolute pleasure, Sarim. And Laugh Riot, thank you for making time with us.
Thank you, Suman. Thank you. So kind of you for having me as well.
No, I appreciate it. On behalf of the entire Waadaplaya team, thanks again for everyone watching, for joining us. Make sure you do subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss an episode. We had lots of fun doing the session today. Drop in a comment, send us a reaction, or whatever may be the case, and we will try to get that to Sarim after the episode. Until next time, see you later. Take care. Have fun. Bye.